Oh, hey, Dr. Amy here. Salute. How is everybody today? Got my amazing Superman cup here today. And Superman is out flying around. Sorry about the lighting. I'm not the best at this, but we're learning. So, wanted to tell you and talk about my go-to #1 piece of equipment that I think everybody should have, or at least the majority of us, is what I just put on the floor, a kettlebell. This piece of equipment is probably one of the most versatile pieces of equipment ever that I've been exposed to, especially this year during the pandemic and being quarantined and learning new ways on how to utilize the kettlebell within training and exercise. So, the kettlebell, just to give you some examples, you can do curls. You can do single arm kettlebell swings. You can do cleans if you want, right? You can do carries, presses, like amazing, right? I think as far as that's one huge question that I get from my patients and athletes. Like, what is your go-to piece of equipment? And as you guys may have guessed from previous coffee talks, my favorite movement is the Turkish get-up. So kettlebells are perfectly the perfect piece of equipment to utilize for that. You can also use a dumbbell too, but kettlebells for sure. And I think it's important too, if you're looking into perhaps getting a kettlebell, or at least starting out with a kettlebell, I would probably get one that's kind of like a light or, moderate load. I'm fairly upper body dominant, and I'm fairly strong in my upper body as opposed to my lower body. So, if this were me and I was first starting out, knowing that my upper body strength is pretty decent, my first pound choice of kettlebells would probably be 25. And then I would kind of fill in the gaps for that. So maybe I have my 25-pound kettlebell, and then I might step up to 45 or a 53 kettlebell, and then an even lower one, maybe down to a 10. That way I at least have one of each of those different types of weights, so I can use that for different aspects within my training. And then periodically, as time progresses, I would fill in the gaps between those weights. So maybe going from a 25 and get a 35 because perhaps maybe you already got a 44 or 45-pound kettlebell. And then periodically kind of fill in those gaps. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a setup. I'm gonna try to bring this camera over a little bit, but I'll show you how I've been able to set up the garage gym a little bit. But so I got the Rogue P4 pull-up system installed. I like the P4 system because it extends out from the wall further, probably about, 40 to 50 inches. That way I can do kipping pull-ups. I also just got some rings off Amazon, and fairly cheap, so then I just attach them to the pull-up apparatus. Also, the plastic parallettes, I got those custom made from a friend, and so I have a set of those. As you can see, they're hanging there just to get out of the way. And I also have, with the parallettes, I have a smaller ratio to have the parallettes lower to the ground. So if I wanted to work on something else. You can see my custom made box over here from an athlete of mine. So just your standard box that you would see from various fitness companies. but very sturdy. I got a whiteboard. Eventually I'll put that up. If you can see that, I have an assault bike. Why an assault bike? It doesn't really take up that much room in the garage, and I actually kind of like it as opposed to a rower. I know that might sound a bit crazy, but okay, I'm gonna kind of navigate over here. Also, I have a wall ball. That's a 14-pound wall ball, and underneath of that, sitting on top of this big black thing, is my sandbag that I scored off of an athlete, and that's about a 100-pound sandbag. So I think it's important to have something that's heavy as well, that you feel that you're comfortable and strong enough to carry and incorporate within your training. And that big kettlebell, that's a 53-pound kettlebell. I got that for Christmas. So there's my heavier kettlebell, and then eventually I'll get the sister to that. So I'll get another 53 on top of that. Woo, a little close. All right, let me set you guys over here. So some other things, I'm gonna kind of point you down. Some other things I got, so I have my 53-pound kettlebell here. I have a set of 35 kettlebell, and there's my sister 25 kettlebell. And I also have these old school weights that are interchangeable as dumbbells. They're okay. Eventually I'm gonna probably replace these because I keep busting my blood vessel in my hand because of the rotation and the grip that I have on this. So, you know, to make one dumbbell, I think I can get up to about 50 pounds. So that's cool, right? Because you can just train one side as opposed to both at the same time. Additionally, over here in the corner, I'm just gonna keep you guys there. I got my old school, these were my mom's, so I have 2-pound weights all the way to 1 pound and then all the way up to 5. So I have 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, and 5 pound. So these are good like rehab tools that I can use to work on smaller muscles in my body. Got a yoga mat. I got my smaller foam roller. And PVC pipe to kind of do some stretching. I got kind of the old school push-up parallettes, so I can use this for things as well. And I think the last thing is, as far as my gym setup, bands. So I got my bands here. These are my like physical therapy bands. So sometimes I can work on like shoulder blade stuff. And then also the assistance bands that I can use for pull-up variations, you know, maybe to take some load or my load off of the pull-up. And then various thickness of those as well. And then lastly, my little loop bands. I think loop bands are awesome since I've been getting more exposed to them. In various sizes. This is pretty heavy duty, but I pretty much just scored this stuff off Amazon, and I'm not promoted by Amazon, but we know Amazon is a good place to get things. But that's honestly the gym setup. But you know, as far as your piece of equipment, I highly recommend scoring a kettlebell. Start with something light, perhaps. Superman's getting cold over here. But yeah, so that's kind of the gym setup, and just very basic. Oh, another thing too, I have a step stool. So that's kind of cool, right? Because I don't have any plates here, so this can act as a deficit. So that's about a 6-inch step. So I might do some deficit work there, meaning I stand on top of it, and I might do a deadlift. You know, lots of different variations there. But hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little bit of an insight if you're thinking about building your own home gym. I think it's here to stay, and I think it's super important that people need to invest in fitness equipment and, you know, eventually choose better quality equipment, but be basic to begin with. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely drop it below, but looking forward to future coffee talks. This is my Portland coffee. I just finished it. No more left. But reach out to me. Thanks for the follow, and drop any comments or any questions if there's any other topics that you may want me to talk about and help you guys out. But thanks for watching. Salut. And we'll talk to you guys on the next one.